when this gentleman was last on this program was May 15th. So a lot has happened in the world of NASCAR and the world in general since the last time that we spoke to Bubba Wallace. And I'm not just talking about a very neat GQ profile on the driver of the 43 car, from Richard Petty Racing, none other than my friend of the program, who I'm thrilled to be able to have back here on the show, Bubba Wallace. How are you, Bubba?
I'm good. How are you? I can't believe it's been that long.
It has, but it feels like a year, doesn't it?
It does. I would say time flies when you're having fun, but I don't know if it's been that fun. It's been a lot of work.
But there has been a lot of work, and obviously a lot has been going on in the world. How are you and your family? Everybody good? Everybody happy, healthy?
Yeah, everybody's good. My mom is actually, she just had knee surgery 2 weeks ago, so she's actually recovering from that and recovering well. She'll be out for, 6 to 8 weeks, but she's still calling every day, so it's been good.
Okay, so what has it been like racing in a pandemic, Bubba? Let's start with that one first. When it was beginning, I think you called in just at the outset of NASCAR being the first sport essentially to return to live action.
Mm-hmm.
You led the way in terms of protocols and things of that nature. We talked at length about that. What has it been like now that we're catching up?
Yeah, no, it feels like somewhat, kind of back to normal. Obviously, we don't have the fans there, and that's a huge aspect for us, just because that's what differentiates us from other sports, just the fan engagement, the fan access that they have. So while some fans are allowed back, like for example, this weekend at the Coke Zero Sugar 400, Daytona, limited capacity will be there in the stands, but still there's not many people that are in. There's nobody that's in the infield. So still kind of a ghost town. It's still stuff weird to get used to, tough to get used to, and so the racing stuff I think has been exciting for sure, and we've continued to try and be competitive and do the most that we can on the racetrack to provide the excitement for the fans to watch, and especially when they're there in person.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned again the Coke Zero Sugar 400 at Daytona. It airs at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on NBC as the NASCAR Cup Series closes out its regular season this coming weekend. So, do you notice it? I guess when you're behind the wheel of the car, or you just don't even think about the fact that you're racing in the manner in the world that we're racing right now.
No, you definitely notice it for sure. It's something that you don't notice it. Let me rephrase that. You don't notice it as you're racing, just because we're going. It depends on where we're at, 200 miles an hour, so it's kind of hard to notice anything.
Right.
It's all a blur, but you notice it while you're there, and so that's what like pre-race. It's quiet. During the anthem, the invocation, all that stuff is just quiet, and that's when you notice it the most. But as soon as we strap in, it's time to go.
Bubba Wallace here on the Rich Eisen Show. Looking at that, I read the profile on you on GQ. NASCAR's unlikely activist. What did you think of that headline of the story, Bubba?
Yeah, that's I accept that. It kind of reminds me of what my mom said. She said, "Did you ever think that you'd become an activist?" And I'm like, "No, not really, not at all." So. It's just, I don't look at it as an activist. I don't look at it as politics, as some would say. I look at it as simply, you know what, that's not right, and I'm going to say something about it. Hopefully it impacts others.
Well, I mean, I guess sometimes people are not prepared for the moment or ready for the moment, but the moment has certainly found you. Did you seek out any advice on what on how to handle matters, or how to communicate it, Bubba?
No, I just for me, I hate when I have to do interviews and I get talking points before it. Like, hey, say this, say that. I'm like, hey, let me do what I can do and be myself. As soon as it becomes scripted, then I'm like everybody else. I hate things that are scripted. And so for me, I say what's on the heart, and I'll have Amanda or my manager kind of look over it and then proofread it and make sure I didn't say anything that was too crazy. I don't want to show my K through 11 and a half education.
Nice.
I gotta sound smart too.
Right.
So yeah, I think for me, it's just all about coming from the heart, but making sure I come off in the right way.
Yeah, you're referring to Amanda Carter, your girlfriend,
my girlfriend.
who's also featured in the article as well. Look, I guess that's why you're so great at racing, is that it's that's unscripted. So you like being unscripted.
Exactly.
How have you been received at racetracks since you have become more prominent in this area, Bubba?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely not a fan favorite anymore. All-Star race, people loved the boos when my name was called, and they loved when I was crashed out there on lap 15. And then where was it at? I think Daytona. There was the boos. So hey, it's all good. My name sparks some sort of reaction inside them, whether it's good or bad. They're saying something, so I'm good with it.
But why is that, Bubba? Why would that be? And I asked that open-ended, okay? And I can kind of, gather what you might say, but I just want to put that in front of you.
Yeah, why they would boo?
Yeah, I mean, why? Right. Like, why do you think that is? Is it the fact that the Confederate flag is no longer allowed at NASCAR and they associate that with you and your activism? What do you think is it because of the way the door handle incident went down, for the lack of a better phrase? Could it be the tweet from the president?
Sure
I mean, what is it?
It's for sure the noose incident. While it might be some of Confederate flag, so be it. Everybody still wants to hang on to the narrative that I want. For one, went and hung the noose myself. I'm sorry. I mean the door handle.
Right.
And then reported it myself just to get the fame and fortune out of it. So that's the narrative that people are continuing to hang on to. And while the facts have been out there, and even the president knew the facts 2 weeks before he wanted to send a tweet about it, people still hang on to that, and that's their problem, not mine. And there's articles going around there saying that I've called every NASCAR fan racist, and that's not the truth. I was simply asked, what do I have to say to those fans, those NASCAR fans that think that this is all a hoax and all a joke? And to those NASCAR fans that think that was a joke, then I said, yeah, it's their job to deliver hate. They're not going to see my side of it. They don't want to see my side of it. But somehow that got turned into every NASCAR fan's a racist. And hey, you know what? I could sit here all day and try to defend myself, and it just wouldn't go anywhere.
No, I know, and I just prefer to use this platform to enlighten. And for those who don't know, David Crops, who is a mechanic for Richard Petty Motorsports, he was the one who noticed the noose or the handle that was fashioned as a noose that had apparently been fashioned as such prior to even you being assigned that garage for some time before. But that was what was surmised after it was brought by David and and part of your team to NASCAR, who handled it the way they handled it before you even knew anything about it. Correct?
Yeah, but hey, you know what? You've already put my name on your program, so people are not going to listen. So that whole statement there just went nowhere. It went to the people that already knew the facts.
Well, I hope otherwise. But
me too.
I certainly hope otherwise, because I think what you have to say and the way that you are saying it is very important in this.
Absolutely, I'm with you.
In this day and age. And to that, just, I guess, to put, if you will, a button on this portion of our conversation, do you have anything you want to say about Jacob Blake, the gentleman in the state of Wisconsin who was shot in the back several times by police, who is in the hospital right now?
I think that was... Yeah, that was, luckily and thank God that, I believe he's in stable condition, and hope that he pulls through. I think, being able to watch that and see all that and be exposed to it is unfortunate. And the thing that really makes me mad and gets under my skin is the people that try to justify what went down. Being shot in the back is just like sucker punching somebody, out at a movie, like for and it's like, there's two sides of it. Yeah, they were telling him to stop, and he wasn't complying. I understand that side of it, but to shoot somebody 7 times in the back, he opened the car door. He was reaching for a gun. Okay, so you're still shooting somebody in the back. There's two police officers tackling. There's 2v1 tackling. Shoot him in the leg. I don't know. They're shooting 7 times in the back. Like, that's just inhumane. It's just tough to watch, and it's just something that's unfortunate. That's still a part of our nation.
Bubba Wallace here on the Rich Eisen Show. Bubba, what about your future in racing? What are you thinking about right now and your decisions for the future here?
Yeah, no, there's a lot to process. Obviously we're in the middle of contract talks right now, silly season, and trying to get everything lined up for 2021. So we'll continue to work on those efforts while trying to finish off these last 11 races on the best note possible.
Bubba, thanks for the time. I know you have to run. I always appreciate our chats, and I look forward to our next one already. Hopefully it won't be between May 15th and August 24th, the same length as the next. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely, my friend. Always a pleasure. Thank you.
Right back at you. That's Bubba Wallace here on the Rich Eisen Show. At Bubba Wallace on both Twitter and Instagram.